Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. This is a chapter from Joy in Plain Sight by Katya Davydova. I am interviewing the author, Katya Davydova, the author of Joy in Plain Sight, on September 28th, 2022 at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is also 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Pacific Daylight Time or Pacific Standard Time. Katya Davydova lives on the West Coast in California, and so to accommodate her, I will be doing the interview with her at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, which will be 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And Katya Davydova is a wonderful person who I met on the internet. As what happened, one of my clients who I teach self-defense and personal training, she liked a post by Katya Davydova on LinkedIn, and I saw the post, and because, one, I had already bought and read the book Joy in Plain Sight by Katya Davydova, I was excited. Two, Katya Davydova was displaying a video that was liked by my client that showed her being very excited going into a Barnes & Noble's bookstore in the Grove in Los Angeles, California, where her book is physically on the bookshelves of Barnes & Noble's. And also, I had before that previously launched the World Reading Club, or I had founded the World Reading Club to officially launch our first book focus, or first reading focus, which is going to be on October 24th, 2022. And I had everybody... I started bringing awareness about everybody buying the book and reading the book, Joy in Plain Sight, on August 23rd, which is the official launch. To give people at least 60 days to read the book, which, by the way, you do not need 60 days to read that book. It is a very easy read. It's a very pleasant read. It's a page-turner, and it's not written with a whole bunch of technical jargon or anything like that. It's a beautiful book. It's called Joy in Plain Sight. And the main thing about the book, Joy in Plain Sight, she calls it stories and essays celebrating wonder in the ordinary. Stories and essays celebrating wonder in the ordinary. So that is basically the idea of her book, and you'll love it. Her writing style is fantastic, as you'll hear when I read it, this part called Welcome to the Neighborhood, and you'll see that Katya Davydova is a one-of-a-kind character, and this interview with her on September 28th, 2022 at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Clubhouse, by the way, on Clubhouse, the Clubhouse app, will be going down. I would like to have interviewed her here on Wisdom, and that will probably happen sometime in the future, but just as it goes with her being busy and she already has Clubhouse and is more familiar with it, I am going to do that there first to accommodate her as well, and then move forward with seeing if I can do some other talks and interviews with her at some other times. Right now, let's go ahead and take it Welcome to the Neighborhood, the chapter, the section, the essay from Joy in Plain Sight by Katya Davydova, and explore what she has to say here. This is right after the Lemonade essay, in which a house burned down. And then now she has moved, and here we come to Welcome to the Neighborhood. My partner and I had just moved into a new place together, the one with a lemon tree in the backyard. Our new neighborhood is quite lovely, blooming with the flowers and charm of a vibrant part of town about 30 minutes south of where wildfires burned in the Los Angeles mountains. Down the palm tree-lined street are sturdy, rectangular edifices housing several sets of tenants, usually in two-story multifamily homes. Originally built in the 1920s, this neighborhood is now home to 30-somethings with roommates, families young and old, and quite a few pet owners. No two buildings look alike. Some have Spanish-style windows, others have sprawling balconies. Others still have walled-in gardens and patios. Walking past plots of watered lawns or decadent succulents, we see elements of colonial, Art Deco, and Tudor styles. Taken all together, these houses are a welcoming mosaic of colors and designs. There is, however, one feature that unifies them all. It's as if God shot out a giant brick. That's my best description to visiting friends of the houses in our neighborhood. Giant bricks, those behemoth rectangular structures that have stood the test of time and have lived to tell the tale. Now, because our particular portly pink building has sat on its corner lot for almost a century, it's really seen it all. Let's see. Now, because our particular portly pink building has sat on its corner lot for almost a century, it's really seen at all. Maybe rarely seen at all. Let's see. Not only does it provide a warm residence for each pair of its residents, but it also contains a bounty of other hidden quirks and treasures that make one feel right at home. For example, this building makes it so we no longer need an alarm clock. Imagine, the sun has just stretched its first rays over the horizon, and the day is about to begin. All is silent in the neighborhood, except for a sudden onslaught of grunts and groans coming from a man courtesy of his girlfriend. Which man? Well, there are plenty in our quadruplex to choose from. There are Chris and Philip, two men in their 50s rooming below us. Chris's friendly girlfriend, Diana, spends the night several times a week, so that is possibility number one. Next to us are Brian and Bill, two dudes in their 30s, one of whom has his girlfriend occasionally stays over on the weekends. Usually they are out exploring the California mountains, but still remain potential contenders. That leaves Jim and John below, Brian and Bill, another two guys in their 20s and 30s who'd only become roommates through convenience and who, conveniently for us, haven't brought over any overnight guests. Speaking of convenience, our neighbors are thoughtful enough to ensure we never miss a sunrise. Why would one choose to wake up to a gentle xylophone tune when primal screams will jolt open your eyes faster than you can reach for your phone to silence the music? Why even have a phone at all? Why, indeed? That is the question of the hour, because I ask myself that groggily every hour. I get the sense my other neighbors don't really mind too much, since all of us have been waking up to the same human alarm clock for months now. You know what they say, the early Bridgets, Bridgets. You know what they say, the early bird gets the worm, and we get all the sound effects. However, if high-pitched squeals and low-pitched moans aren't your thing, you're in luck. There is more ruckus in store for you. Have you ever wanted to visit the African savanna to feel connected to the wildlife there? Run with the giraffes, pet the lions, ride an elephant? While you're going to have to find your own ticket and professional guide to said savanna, why even bother when you're able to experience the magic of elephants right in your own home? Stop wasting time hunting for the best airline deal and come on over to In the Morning. Thrills await you. Imagine. You're camping in a tent on that savanna, snug as a bug, with dawn just passing the limelight to its cousin, morning. The sun's rays tickle your closed eyes, and all is well as you nestle soundly in your blankets. Suddenly, your eyes spring open. Your skin decorates itself in goosebumps. The hairs on the back of your neck wake up and stand up, and the rest of you follows. Oh no, you realize, a stampede. It's that herd of elephants you saw on the savanna's horizon from last night. How did they get so close? Why is your nest of warmth shaking violently? Not to fear, dear adventurer. Remember, this is what you signed up for. A morning greeting by your local elephant as part of your savanna stay. So what if the building tenants are deep into their REM cycle? The rickety wooden stairs right outside your bedroom window must be bounded down with a great fervor and flourish. A key requirement of this morning stampede is not only must it be heard, but it must be felt. Because you live in California, you must have daily earthquake drills by experiencing the shaking yourself. And what an honor to have your neighbor, Brian, or is it Bill, do it for you. So thoughtful. It really doesn't get better than this, except it does, for you live in the portly pink building with 3 other apartments. Having 3 sets of neighbors is quite a joy, because you become productive. Remember, the building is a giant brick. Part of it sunlight only hits the insides of that opening for a few minutes each day. But that's quite all right, since what you hear makes up for what you can't observe. See, this is where the bathroom windows of all 4 units converge. While I initially thought the cutout centerpiece was eccentric, I learned it was an intentional architectural choice. Because this neighborhood was erected in the 1920s, homes lacked a ventilation system. Prudently, architects decided to put windows in the rooms with the most fumes. And instead of those windows facing the street, they opened into the hole of this rectangular bagel. In my partner's words, this was the built-in communal poop chute. Our bathroom window directly faces that of our upstairs neighbors, and the 2 units downstairs also face to kiss each other. Every day there is a makeout session of sounds that get amplified in the tunnel-like column, emanating from and drifting into each of the 4 openings. God damn it! Ow! Fucking ingrown toenail! My own toes curl under in empathy when I hear one neighbor's yelp, accentuated by dry sounds of clip, clip, clip. My heart goes out to him in knowing pain. Other times, I'm transported to the other side of the country without having to get up from the toilet seat. A light flickers on across the way, and from the frosted window I can't see into. A light flickers on across the way, and from the frosted window I can't see into. Thankfully, a sharp sound pierces the silence. Ah, the grand fury of Niagara Falls! Living in this complex never fails to astound me, especially as it concerns the functions of the human body. I never knew a bladder could hold that much and expel it with such force, such gusto. Sometimes our neighbors' sounds produce a much-needed mask for what comes out of our own echoey chamber. In fact, when the neighbors aren't having a party between the bedsheets or stomping on stairs to ensure we're awake, they are extraordinarily supportive. Rarely have I felt so seen and heard and held in moments so intimate. Imagine, our first Monday living here after the weekend move. It's early. Coffee's brewing. I'm mentally psyching myself up for work where I'm on the entire day, facilitating virtual learning experiences for business leaders. Typically, I'm a morning person, so my brain starts going as soon as my eyes pop open. This weekday is no different, and I'm a hamster running through the to-do list in my head. A pause. Duty calls. Grateful, I answer. Ah, a moment of silence and peace where I can be alone with my thoughts and let it all go. It's delightfully quiet, and as I'm sitting there, a burp escapes. Nice. That was one of the most satisfying farts in a while. Suddenly, a voice. Bless you. Instantly, my face blooms in redness and heat. I want to crawl where no one can see me, but remember, no one, indeed, can see me. However, I'd forgotten how well the sounds carry through this holy bathroom congregation. Thank you, I chirp back. What else is there to do? Welcome to the neighborhood, the voice quips again, immeasurably cheerful. By now, I'm laughing and creating many earthquakes of mirth and mortification. I thank my lucky stars I have my phone nearby and turn on an upbeat Spotify playlist to mask any subsequent sounds for the remainder of my time in the bathroom. Later, after guffawing about the experience with my boyfriend, I reflect on how lucky I am, too, to be surrounded by people who bless my loud sounds, no matter where they come from. As with any new life chapter, I had a seed of trepidation about creating a sense of belonging for myself within my community. Will I fit in? Will my neighbors like me? In the months since my partner and I moved into this quirky building, our collective sounds became the sounds of the community. A warm summer night in the backyard brought about the clinking of beer bottles to celebrate filmmaker Jim's new movie short. A cooler autumn evening became the backdrop for our raucous voices to share tales of our lives. A shower sing-along to the Killers from either Brian or Bill invited me to yell across the window, "You've got great music taste!" We revel in and share our sounds. One recent morning, as I was walking downstairs to the backyard, my neighbor Chris waved as he watered his garden. "Hey, Katya," he said with a devilish grin. "Was that you two or the cats we heard rumbling around last night?" Blushing, I lied. "Oh, you know how our cats get, running up and down the hallway past midnight." Chris smirked as I scuttled away, chuckling to myself. Was he the one who blessed my farting sounds all those months ago? What else does he hear? That will forever remain a mystery. What is for certain is despite, or thanks to, paper-thin walls and too close bathrooms, I've come to cherish my neighbors' individual expressions. How lovely is it we get to coexist in this giant brick of a building, with our farts and our grunts and our unique cacophony of life domestic. It really doesn't get better than this. You've been listening to Welcome to the Neighborhood Reading, or Joy in Plain Sight Reading, presented by Hakeem Ali-Bocas Alexander on the Wisdom app for World Reading Club in association with UniquilibriuM. Welcome to the Neighborhood is a chapter or an essay in the book Joy in Plain Sight by Katya Davydova, an author whom I met on LinkedIn and subsequently built a relationship with, and now awesomely, amazingly, fantastically, wonderfully have an interview with on September 28th, 2022 at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so we can discuss her book, maybe read some parts of it, and generally just get to know Katya Davydova. So, if you haven't bought the book already, go ahead and get that book. It's only September 23rd right now, so you still have 30 days to read the book Joy in Plain Sight by Katya Davydova. It will not take you 30 days to read the book. I read the book in just a few hours in one day, and that was because I was very distracted and took some breaks to train personal training clients. So please join World Reading Club, which launched on August 23rd, 2022, and we'll be doing our first book focus on October 24th, 2022. That'll be 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 6 p.m. on Pacific Daylight Time. And so you've got that 30 days to get that book by Katya Davydova, Joy in Plain Sight, and you'll not only read wonderful sections like Welcome to the Neighborhood and Lemonade, but there are many, many more to go. The next one is called Laughter Yoga, which is the third essay in her book, Joy in Plain Sight. So go ahead, grab a copy of Joy in Plain Sight by Katya Davydova. Read that book. You got 5 days to at least get some of it in, so you can join us on Clubhouse for our interview at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, as Katya and I meet in Clubhouse to discuss her book and learn more about her on September 28th. So join in, check it out. And if you'd like, go on and ask me some questions. Send me a question or a message here on the Wisdom app. And make sure to join us on September 28th, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, as I interview and speak to the author, Katya Davydova, of the book Joy in Plain Sight.